Hello. Can you hear me now?
No, recuerdo muy bien.
You are muted. Okay. Yeah, I know there's still no sound. We're getting it fixed. Okay. There is sound. Yay. Is the sound okay? Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay. Hey. Woo! Oh my God, how many people are here? It's insane. Anyway, I'm super excited to have you all here. So let me repeat what I was just saying because obviously you couldn't hear a word. Um, so yeah, first of all, welcome in my kitchen. Today we're going to do a little bit of kitchen witchery together, and I'm super excited. And I picked one of my favorite autumnal dishes, a flammkuchen or tarte flambee, even though my French is probably horrendous. And it's with pumpkin and pear and pumpkin seeds or walnuts or whatever nuts you want to throw in there to just kind of like give you all the cozy feels. And yeah, today is super misty, like it's a typical November day. It was so hot here for the longest time, and now November has finally arrived and it's gloomy and just a perfect time to like sit in the kitchen and have a candle going and drink a tea, even though I completely forgot to make myself one. But anyway, to just enjoy that. So yay. Um, yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to say if you can't hear me or anything else happens, please just let me know in the chat. I'm not super versed with that because I'm not doing lives very often, you know. But yes, first of all, let me know who is cooking along. I shall have my eyes on the chat. I'm sorry if I'm not always looking in your beautiful eyes because otherwise I can't see what you're typing. All right, all right, all right. Hello from Colorado, Alaska, Missouri. Oh, so cool. Kai asked if this will be saved so you can rewatch. Yes, this will be saved and it will go on my channel so you can rewatch it anytime. Right. So we have people cooking along. That is wonderful. Hello to New York. Are there also some Europeans? I see a lot of people from the US. Ah, from Germany. How lovely, Silver Fox 42. Lovely to have a fellow German here. London, UK. Oh, amazing. All right, perfect. So we're a lovely mix of witches here. And I can see a lot of you got up quite early because I feel like for some of the destinations in the States, I know it's not the afternoon. All right. Perfect. Okay. Well, I just gonna quickly explain how this will go down so you have a little bit of an idea. So I will explain how to make the dish and I will show you right here. I hope you can see everything. If you haven't found a recipe yet, but want to cook this at a different date, it's like linked down in this description box below, and here you just learn the steps. I'm gonna make the regular version, but I also included in the recipe like vegan options for you if you want that. Unfortunately, not a gluten-free one because I have to be very honest, I'm not a gluten-free baker just because I don't know enough about it and how it changes the dough consistency and stuff like that. But all my veggies, vegetarians, and omnivores can enjoy this now. All right, perfect. So yeah, I shall be showing you what I do. I will be telling you a little bit more about the kitchen witch aspects of the ingredients that we have here, the entire symbolism, or what you could potentially infuse this little dish with what kind of intentions or energies, if you want to do that. And for the rest, I just wanted to have a little chat, so I want to invite you. Oh, someone from Regensburg. Oh, it's my mom. Hi, mother. Anyway, so if you want to know anything about witchcraft, about kitchen witchery, or about moi, feel free to ask. And if I see it, if I catch it in the chat, I'll try and answer it. All right. So for the people that don't know what I am making, it is an autumnal tarte flambee or flammkuchen. And it's absolutely delicious and awakens all the cozy fall tastes, vibes, whatever. Okay, let's first get started with the dough. So we have that out of the way. and then we can go a little bit more into the chat. So you can either make your own dough. This is a super simple recipe. You can use this dough for very thin type of pizza crusts if you want it. It doesn't include any yeast or anything. It doesn't need to rise. It's like ready to use basically. I use it a lot for the Flammkuchen. I use it sometimes for some sort of like savory strudel dishes. Like if I fill the strudel with Schukrut, sauerkraut, or mushrooms or something like that, I like to use that dough as well. So what you need is a bowl with flour. I'm very sorry for everyone that is not used to measuring things with a scale in gram. I don't know how to use the cups. I mean, I could Google, but also I'm lazy, so you know. There's a lot of like things already happening in the chat. Let me see. Who is my favorite witch YouTuber? Oh, I would have to say there is one, but she doesn't upload that often, or she hasn't uploaded in a year, but she's now uploading again, which is my wonderful friend Kayla. The Wayward Witch, even though she changed her channel name quite a bit. So no, I don't know how she's called, but she's linked as my friends. I just enjoy the aesthetics of her channel very much, and like her wisdom. Like she has been practicing for like a million years. And just does it very nice. And what else? How do you know when a spell is working? When I see the effects. That's how I know if a spell is working. Like the spells that I do is usually very much focused on myself or on my mindset or on my energy levels. Or how my, like I'm a cottage witch, so like basically how my house feels like, you know, certain energies, feelings, vibes, whatever you want to call it, in my house. So it's very easily measurable because, yeah, if I have a result, then I know it's working. And if it's not working, then I think about why it might not work. Maybe I haven't put in the mundane efforts, or maybe I have not, you know, really gotten to the source of the issue, because a lot of my spells are more into the psychological depths of it, so to say. So yeah. Let's see. Can beginner witches do this? Or bigger witches? I assume you mean beginner witches. You mean the recipe? Yes, of course you can. Cook along. Any spell? Yes. Any you want to do? Of course you can. As long as you have enough self-confidence. All right. Okay. Krista, gossip. That's a very interesting question that I will not answer because I plan to put this video for people also under the age of 18. So make your own assumptions. All right, cool. So we have flour. What you're gonna do is you just add a generous dash of salt, right? Because you know you want to add some taste to it. What you also can do is to take any type of like spices, dried spices, herbs that you want to put in the dough. You could do that. I feel in this dish would go maybe thyme, dried thyme, maybe oregano. You could also put in curry. I think curry would go really well with it, but I'm gonna go for the very plain version. So I'm gonna put a little bit of water in here. Yep. What else do we need? Oil. Hold on. I placed my oil out of reach. Oh, God. 1 second. All right. I mean, I would get up, but I'm also just wearing leggings, so I'm not gonna do that because it's probably see-through. Okay. Put in a little bit of oil to make the dough nice and subtle. That's about enough. In the recipe, you'll find the exact measurements, but I don't do exact measurements when I am cooking. All right, perfect. And then what I like to do is to just stir it, you know, with a fork, because otherwise your hands get really sticky, and who wants that? No one wants a mess. So, you know, just stirring that in and probably making my laptop very dirty at the same time. Let's see. Can you please share vegan recipes? Yes, I have a lot of times in my recipes a vegan adaptation for it. So for this recipe, I also have a vegan adaptation. You can see it, and some recipes I don't know how to make them vegan if they're very focused on like eggs, for example. I know they're egg replacements, but since I am not usually cooking with them, I am also not feeling confident a lot of the times to adjust my recipe accordingly. But yeah. Right. Oh, Jade Witch had the first snow. Oh, I wish. It's still quite warm here. Yesterday we had, it's called St. Martin. It's a Catholic holiday where the kids go out with the lanterns and you go through the streets and sing. And then there was a big bonfire with Glühwein and, sausage rolls, typical German celebration. And it was so nice just because the mist and the gloom and the dark streets and the candles in every house, like they line the gardens with it. So it's really, really cool. But yeah, I'm super excited for snow. I'm super excited for Yule. I have so many cool videos coming up for you. About like pagan origins again, like a little bit like last year if you watched those videos, and just a couple of cottage witchery Yule type of things. So super excited. Let me know, what are you all doing or planning to do for Yule, or how do you prepare, or are you more focused on Christmas? Like how's that going for you? That is not an orange on my table. Oh, hi, Queen. That is a Hokkaido pumpkin. I like to use those because you can basically just leave the skin on, it cooks very soft and it doesn't really matter. So it's my preferred pumpkin to cook with. Yeah, basically, so when you had the dough like mixed with a fork, so it's not quite as sticky anymore, and the flour had soaked up some of the liquids, you can just use your hands. Okay, let's see. Grew up eating German food. Yes, German food is lovely. It's also very fatty. I mean, depending. I'm in southern Germany, so our food is very similar to Austrian food too. It's like Austro-Bavarian food. It's a lot of like dough things, a lot of potato dumplingy things, a lot of sugar, eggs, milk, fat. Not so many veggies actually. Let's see. When I'm cooking, do you put intentions in throughout the process or at the end? It completely depends. If I have like my crotch goblins around and I cook with them, like I don't really have to focus to do that throughout the cooking process. Then it's more like maybe in the end, if I'm stirring something, I do a little like blessing. But when I really have the time to cook, for example, in the evenings, or let's say I do like a kitchen witch, like a healthy dish, and I do a kitchen witch spell for weight loss. Or for health, I will put like intention every step of the process. So what does that mean? For example, if I would put in the ingredients, I would focus on what I want every ingredient to bring in, like the energy. That can be through correspondences or just things that I personally associate with it. Also with, for example, if I'm cutting veggies, I'm thinking about the things that I want to cut out of my life, or like banish. Basically, if I am heating something up or putting something or flambeing something, it's just like burning up a piece of paper with an intention on it, like stuff like that, you know? You can basically make your own rules, which is very nice. Okay, so people on Yule, a big bonfire and breadsticks. Oh, I love that. Usually do that more in the summer, but like I love to do like a glühwein over the fire. Yes. Yeah, the autumn glory is very nice, Kai. That is so true. Well, yeah, I know. Like, if you're in the States, you probably like for you, like you get in the Yule spirit after Thanksgiving. But we don't have Thanksgiving. We don't really have another celebration in uh, before. I mean, we have like Saint Martin, which was yesterday, and then for me, kind of it starts already to get like Christmassy, like because we have the Advent, so the 4 weeks before Christmas, which are really big here with the Advent calendar and the Adventskranz and the Advent, like the markets, the Christmas markets. So Christmas in Germany is actually quite nice, and I mean Christmas and Yule for me is kind of like put it together as a celebration. All right. I like to create a Yule tree, bake and dry oranges slices and hang them on the tree. Also hang cinnamon sticks and string cranberries. How lovely. I love any type of like very natural decor. I might do that this year too, also because I wanted to put some of the meaning of it in a video for you. Oh, wow. You are ready for snow and evergreens. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. Myra? Same, same. All right. Hungarian foods and Ukrainian foods. Oh, lovely. Like my grandfather was Hungarian, so I grew up with some of the Hungarian cuisine, and I love it very much. I spent a lot of holidays there when I was a child. Mulled cider, fireplace, ginger snaps. See, it's just such a cozy, cozy, cozy time of the year. All right. Anyways, what are we going to do now? If you haven't pre-bought a dough or cheating with the easy version, you have to roll out this beauty. And the easiest way to do that is if you have some sort of surface, wooden table, for example. You do want to flour dust it because otherwise it will stick to it. And we don't like that if things stick. So, moment. Okay, well that's, just like put a little bit of flour. The dough should not be overly sticky, by the way. Like, if you have a very sticky dough, you might want to add a little bit more flour, just a little by little, and knead it again because flour also soaks and gets a little bit bigger, right? Okay, so we're gonna do that. Okay, let's see. Advice on a spell that's been running for 5 years that hasn't worked. I assume you're talking about a spell that you have casted. If it's still not working, you might want to look into the whys. What I said before, like, do you do also the mundane work, not only the magic work? Did you get to the root of the thing? Maybe you want to get it there. Like, that, for me, would be the things that I would look into. Can you dry out orange peels in the oven? Yes, you can. You can. The best way to do so is to have it at a lower setting. And then you just leave it like open, like a little bit. You can just stick a cooking spoon or something in it so the humidity can escape. And it takes a lot of time. So, depending on the climate you live in, you have no other choice though. So you have to see. Okay, sorry for being absent in my chatting, but I have a really hard time reading and thinking and talking at the same time, apparently. Ooh, I heard so much about using white pine lately and making white pine tea. Have you ever worked with white pine for spells or have tasted it like in a tea? I am not sure, and that is because I don't know the German translation or like the pondo of white pine. I mean, pine, yes. White pine, I don't know. If any Germans here know, please let me know, or if you want to look it up real quick. All right, perfect. All right. Someone said Torn in Texas. Yes, there's a beautiful Christmas market in Regensburg, my hometown. It's in a castle of the Duchess of Torn in Texas that resides there. And it's the most beautiful thing with like it looks like medievalish and have like this fires going and the Christkind, which is our Santa, but it's like a lady with blonde hair and wings, and like a white dress, which is, by the way, based on the pagan figure of Freya. recites poems, and they have music playing, and there's glühwein and best food, and also horrendous entry prices, but we shall not speak of that. All right. Oh, someone wants to experiment with fire cider and adaptogenic broth and cocoa mixes as holiday gifts. Yes, I love, like, homemade gifts for me are the best. Like, I love to give them and I love to receive them. I feel like there's so much love in them, and especially if it's something that you can use, like eat, even better. By the way, if you haven't seen my last video where I made like a fire cider and a veggie chicken broth and Apfelstrudel, I wanted to upload the recipes, but we all got sick and I didn't get around to do it. But my plan is to do it tonight, sorry. Wonderful. We see you baking a lot of time. Will you also be cooking some dishes as well? I do cook occasionally on my channel. I like usually when I have my outside vlogs because I like to cook over an open fire. Doesn't mean that I always cook over an open fire. I mean, I wish, but I really don't. Yeah, I tend to bake more on camera. I think mainly because with the traditional dishes here, they're just more baked, you know, rather than cooked, at least the ones that have like some sort of history to it. And I find it also easier to make aesthetic. But flat out bad. But yeah, as some of you might know, I'm writing on a little something with a couple of my special recipes in, and there you'll find a lot more like actual cooking recipes and not only the baking, because I know a lot of people are cooks but no bakers. Let's see. Do you ever use escargot shells in kitchen magic? I don't, because I never eat escargot. I love it when I'm in France, but I wouldn't even know where to get that here. So if anyone has ideas, like just off the top of my head, I would probably use them for spells surrounding home life, protection, shelter, security, like everything I associate basically with like the shell, right? Because the what's it called? The snail retreats into it, or the escargot retreats into it. What is the weather like over here? It's 70 degrees Fahrenheit in Georgia today, and it does not feel like November. I find it harder to connect with seasonal feelings. Oh, I feel you. Yeah, as I said, it has been unseasonally warm until a week ago, so I was still outside without a jacket, which is crazy to me in November, because I always remember the 1st of November back in the days when I was a child. We would go to visit the graves, right? Because it's the tradition here, and we would always like wear our new winter outfits, like cute hats and coats and whatever we got new. You know, not that I'm getting a new winter outfit every year, but I was a child and I was growing, and so I kind of had to. But yeah, so this year it was still like almost t-shirt weather, like it's insane. But now it's misty and gloomy and nice. It's probably like 10 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. The vase is gorgeous. Yeah, I got that at one of my thrift hauls. I think I filmed it like last autumn. There was a collaboration with Vida Corvus, which, by the way, is also a wonderful YouTuber. Little shout out to her. She does like these dark academic videos and all sorts of how's it called, like style aesthetic videos. I just really love it, and she's like a very, very lovely human being. She also loves to thrift, so if that is something that you like but with a witchy twist, I would absolutely recommend that channel. So okay, so I don't know who's cooking along, but if you have kind of like rolled out your dough, you want to have it like fairly thin. then you did great. I did so too. And we are actually going to put that already in the oven for a couple of minutes so it doesn't really get soggy. So it's already a little bit like baked before we put all the stuff on it. Hold on. Of course, I forgot to get my baking tray and a baking paper. Just gonna rummage blindly through all my things. Oh my god. Okay, that's empty. Don't judge me on my housekeeping skills. All right, cool. So, just gonna put that on if you have a reusable baking mat, even better. I have one too, but obviously it's dirty, as is the rest of my house. But I cleaned this little space for you. Almost. I do have some wax stains on the table. Social media and editing. God bless. All right. Wonderful. All right. So if you are cooking along and you made your own dough, like you don't have a pre-made dough, with the pre-made one, you don't really have to do that. But if you just made this dough, I recommend popping it in the oven now at 200 degrees Celsius, which is probably around 380 degrees Fahrenheit, but don't want to make any false promises, so just check. All right. Any thoughts on how to incorporate my older kids into my craft, like teens and pre-teens? Well, I would first ask if they're interested, because obviously by that age they're probably already making their own decisions about these type of things. And if they're interested, I would just share things with them that apply to their life. I feel like teens, pre-teens are very much getting busy with things around, things that would benefit them probably is self-love, self-esteem, confidence, all that stuff. So little spells on how to make that, how to increase that in them. I would also teach them maybe a lot of magic around self-care, because that's obviously a very important one that we don't really learn, and a lot of people struggle with that when they're older. Things that are helpful to their lives. And then of course you can also incorporate them in the seasonal holidays. If they enjoy crafting or cooking or baking, you can do seasonal stuff with them, or you could maybe even do a little ritual if that is something they're interested in, also with topics surrounding their stage of life, take them where they are and then see what the message of the season is, and then kind of apply it to topics in their life. That would be my suggestion. If anyone has older kids, please feel free. I obviously only have a 6-month-old and a 3-year-old, so I'm not at that stage yet, but that's kind of how I would probably approach it when mine are older. All right, sorry, I don't know if I already said it, but pop this in the oven for, let's say, 10 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to mix the sauce. So we're going to need a little mixing bowl, which I also did not prepare, because why would I? Just gonna reuse the flour bowl. Oh yeah, my oven is broken, so I have to pop that in the oven at my neighbor's. So I will not pre-bake it. Okay, so what you want is a preferably clean bowl, and then you need your sour cream or your schmand if you're cooking from a German thing, or your creme fraiche. All that works. You can even make a little mixture of creme fraiche and regular cream. But whatever floats your boat of happiness. And obviously, if you're cooking vegan, in Germany we have the Dr. Oetker, sorry, not an advertisement, but a cream vega is amazing. I actually use that a lot instead of regular cream, because it's just lovely. Hold on, my thingy is over there. Oh god! All right, there we are, back in the game. Okay. All right, so we're gonna put that I got a something. I don't know what it is, but there's a little dancing pear on my screen. Thank you so much. That is very kind of you. I think that's a donation, but I can't really figure out how that works. Oh, hi! We know each other from In Your Element. How are you doing, my lovely? It's so nice. Like, before I had my online workshops, I kind of like only was talking to the camera. And, you know, like, I do talk to a couple of people on Instagram more or less regularly. But I kind of felt still very lonely. And now I know so many people. And, like, you have the Facebook groups going and the book clubs going and, like, all the WhatsApp chats. So I feel like now I have like friends from all over the world. It is absolutely amazing. I'm trying vegan yogurt with lemon. Ooh, that sounds amazing. Your English is bloody amazing. Where did you learn? Just by living abroad, I guess. Not in school, let me tell you that much, because the first time I went abroad, I just went to Estonia and was like, hey, I don't have money. Let me find a job. So they hired me at a hostel. I don't know how, because I barely could understand what they were saying to me. The first night I already messed up. Like I sent 2 people out on the streets because I thought they belonged to the Russian mafia. Long story short. Anyway, wasn't the case. But my English was horrible. So I kind of learned by like talking a lot to natives or just being outside of Germany for 10 years, and English was the language I had to speak for my jobs. So yes. The retreat video was absolutely amazing. So Sen, yes, the retreats, both of them were amazing. I'm already absolutely psyched for the next one. And just the friendships that like grew out of that. Like the other day I got like an email, or actually because I'm now in so many chats with the people, like just people sending parcels to each other, like making plans and traveling. Like it's like a proper community. I'm actually having like a little project in the reels to connect more people that are like in close proximity, you know, so you don't have to fly out to Germany to meet other witches, like-minded witches. So I hope that works out, but that's like a ton of work and a ton of know-how has to go into that. And maybe I should also explain what I'm doing, because you're probably there and you're like, what are you putting in the bowl? So basically there was sour cream, and then I put in some pepper, and probably I should also add in a bit of salt, because, you know, otherwise it doesn't have any flavor. There we go. You could also add in a bit of paprika, like smoked paprika powder or nutmeg. That would go really well in that, but I didn't prepare it, so I'm gonna skip that part because I am not getting up. Because now additionally to my leggings being sheer, I also completely covered in flour. All right, cool. I was going to join you in my kitchen. Instead, I'm going on a short time road trip. I can watch you in replay. Yes, you can. You can do that. Enjoy your trip. I saw some comments about a book. I missed that. What are the details? I cannot talk too much on the details yet, but there's a book coming your way. But it will still take until next Samhain, so you have to be a bit patient, but I'm very excited about it. Actually, potentially multiple books, so but we shall see. All right. Do you make all your own recipes, or did you learn them from others? The ones I'm showing on a channel, unless they're like really traditional, like if they're traditional, oftentimes they're my grandma's or my mom's. Other times they're my own. Like, I mean, I learned cooking when I was a kid, like just from helping or like being interested in it. Like I was always looking at my mom's cookbooks and just really, you know, like making like little cards with like menus, you know, like a starter, a main course. And I always just loved food, and I love to eat it, I love to cook it. So kind of learned as I went. I don't have any professional cooking experience, as you probably can tell, but it's enough to feed people. Okay. Feels so nice to be in a company with so many other witches, right? It's so lovely. I really enjoy it, and like just to talk also to people and like chat and really, you know, have that kind of like community is amazing. I have learned so much from because I was a solitary practitioner for almost 20 years. So I always thought like I'm not missing out on anything because I was like happy doing my things. And I mean, like that's also fine. You can absolutely practice solitary. But now that I had the experience to meet people online and in person, it's incredible how much I have learned and how much I got inspired. And like I can now turn to people when I have like, I want inspiration or I have questions or can help them with something. So that is really cool. Okay, this is really hard to do with a fork and not a spoon, but here we go. Okay, so what did I do? If you pre-baked your dough in the oven, after 10 minutes you can get it out and then you just put on your cream. Basically, I like to put like a nice, a thick layer of it because obviously it's fat and fat tastes amazing. All right, cool. Don't want to waste anything. Anyone else that is like super obsessed about like always making sure that the bowls or the utensils are super clean and nothing is wasted? I mean, usually I would just lick that, but I figured since I am on camera, I should pretend I don't do so. Nah, fuck it. All right. I'm a stay-at-home mom and a solitary witch, so it gets a little lonely sometimes. I'm a bit of a hermit crab. I get that. Yeah. Especially I feel like if you have kids, it's even easier to feel lonely because, I mean, obviously you have people there, but not quite the same as having adults there, isn't it? Can actually feel more isolating. All right. Cool. Weiße Kiefer, white pine. Ah, okay. No, never used that in spellcraft. Not particularly. Thank you for looking that up, by the way. Okay. Now, what we are going to do next is to cut our veggies that we need. So we have a little bit of kitchen witch knowledge for you. We have pumpkin. So pumpkins have different connotations. Obviously, in around this time of year, Halloween, Samhain, they replaced basically the turnips that were carried with lights inside that were supposed to ward off the evil spirits or scare them off that were loose in that night, right? That were coming up from the underworld or from the other world or depending on what context you're coming from. And then if you go more to the Asian countries, they're actually connected to fertility. And funny thing, it's like that with many fruits or veggies that have seeds inside. It's because of the seeds. They figured like, oh, there's a lot of like potential for fertility, new growth, new pumpkins there. So, it must be good for that. And I think, but I'm not sure about that. I think in China, correct me if I'm wrong. That might not be true. You could Google it to fact check because I'm not sure which country it was. They even were the symbol for like apothecaries and doctors for a while. So that's really cool. And what else can I tell you about the pumpkin other than that it tastes good? Oh yeah, like in Europe we didn't have like these round type of pumpkins, the very orange ones. Like the actual only pumpkin that like really originated from here is the bottle pumpkin. Um, I don't know if it's called bottle pumpkin in English. We call it like that in German, the Flaschenkürbis, Kalabacin. And I think in Dutch they still use the word Pilgrimfles, which means like the pilgrim's bottle, because back in the days when people didn't have like proper water bottles yet, or they did maybe not have like a leather bottle, which was also very common, they would hollow out that pumpkin and put the water in it when they went on the pilgrimage, the Santiago de Compostela to Spain, right? Very famous pilgrim route. So yes, that's my 2 cents on the pumpkin. But basically, you take away from this ward of evil spirits and fertility. So there you go. Let's see if someone said something. In Santeria, they are linked to Oshun, the goddess, and fertility. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Butternut squash. I think it's similar to the bottle pumpkin. I don't know if it's exactly the same one. Yeah, baked pumpkin seeds, delicious. Yeah, it might be gourd actually. Thank you to Devon Rene for putting that in. All right. So I'm going to cut this beauty now. We only need a couple of thin slices actually. So from the rest, it's hard. I'm gonna probably cut myself now. Oh, to work out more, dude. Okay. Oh my gosh. I swear it's just unnaturally hard. It's not that I'm that that weak. Oh gosh. Alright, there we go. Wasn't that hard, was it? So yeah, as you can see, full of little seedy seeds. And then we're gonna put out now. And then we're just gonna cut some little thin slices of it because we're going to put it on our tarte flambee or flammkuchen. This would also go so much easier with a spoon if I had prepared one. The chaos that ensued before this video started. I broke a glass like 2 minutes before. Kids were screaming, one was butt naked, the dog was like all over the place with trying to not step into the shards, and yeah. But here we are, now it's all cozy, isn't it? Okay, thinner knives help. I assume you mean the hollowing of the pumpkins? Ah, no, for cutting it. Ah, okay. Yeah, that might have been better because this is quite a weapon, isn't it? All right, perfect. So you can slice it. You can use such contraption, or you can just use your knife. I'm just gonna use my knife mainly because I am too lazy to clean two things. Just time for that. So, you really want to see that you're cutting them like fairly thin. You don't want too thick of a slice. In retrospective, if you don't have a very good knife control, like me, you might want to use the other slicer. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Just gonna do it with enough confidence no one will know. Okay, cool. So I mean, I would look at the chat, but I'm also kind of like afraid I'm going to slice a finger off. So you know, it's kind of not the thing. Hold on, I have to. You need my phone for the baby camera? You may have my phone for the baby camera. Where's my phone? You have my phone. Ah, okay, enjoy. Okay, that's fine. Okay, sorry, I just had to make sure that the offspring is, you know, taken care of. I think they fell asleep, so that is wonderful. It's hard to clean cheese graters anyway, isn't it? Isn't it? If anyone has like a really good device, like usually I'm not big about devices in the kitchen because I like to do things from hand. But if you have like a good thing to do the cheese, I mean, I guess you could probably just put it in like a blender type of thingy, food processor, whatever it's called. But yeah, if you have like a magic device to help with the cheese grating or grating of other sorts, please let us know. Okay. Perfect. So I have now my couple of pumpkin slices. So we're just gonna put them decoratively on the flammkuchen, right? So okay, I think I'm the odd witch out. I've never eaten pumpkin. I just collect them around my home like familiars. Love it. Try it. They're actually quite nice. As a kid, I hated them because, like in Germany, we make them like pickled. We make like just sweet, sour pickled pumpkin, and it's the grossest thing you will ever eat. Even though maybe now that I'm grown up, I might like it again. I haven't eaten it in years. But I do like pumpkin soup, especially with coconut. Oh my God. All right, cool. Just gonna slice a couple more so we have them all over the tarte. Yep, cool. So, next ingredient. We need the pear. Okay, as you can see, this pear has a lovely pear shape. Surprise. And that was why in the medieval ages, people actually associated it with fertility because they said it looks like a woman's belly. Maybe a pregnant belly, I assume. So it doesn't have many seeds inside, as you might know if you have ever eaten a pear. But another link to fertility. So if you're making this quiche, obviously it has like all the harvest ingredients. It's very much, you know, the accumulation of all the harvest items that we have, the wheat, the pumpkin, the pear, the nuts. So you could use it in kitchen witch spells around abundance, calling in fertility, either like physical fertility or fertility for endeavors, for plans that you have. You could also use it for love, for lust, all that sort of thing. Usually things that were connected to like fertility were also connected to love and lust, because people just, kind of assumed that one went with the other. Right. So we're also going to slice that up. I'm gonna do that with this knife. It's fine. It's all fine. Okay, Bix, I was busy with crotch goblins earlier and couldn't make it on time. Will this be... Yeah, it will be available later on for the ones that missed it. Absolutely. All right. If you have any questions, anything else, let me know. Raven Shensen. It's not quite a quiche. It's more like a tarte flambee. Like a very thin, flat thing. Like they used to... This was actually developed back when they had like the stone ovens, right? The fire ovens. And in order to test the temperature, if it was correct for the bread, they would take a tiny little bit of the dough. They would spread it out really thin and then just put it in a really hot oven. And that was basically the origins of the Flammkuchen and then, or the tarte flambee. And then later on, they put like things on it, like you have the Alsace one with like the onions and the bacon and the sour cream and all that stuff. And you have so many different delicious varieties. You mentioned a Facebook group earlier. Do you need a patron to join it? I do have a patron-only Facebook group, but I also have for all of my workshops, I have like an individual Facebook group so that people can like communicate, and there are also daily prompts in there and stuff. So in order to be in there, you would have to participate in one of the workshops. Actually, on that note, since I have you all here, at the moment I have like 4 up on my website. One is like In Your Element, which is about elemental witchcraft, and like how to be like a super intuitive witch, how to find your own correspondences, how to incorporate the elements in a holistic level. And then I have the Season of the Witch, which is like a manifestation, super intense class with like a lot of shadow work, deep dives, and seeing how you work and, how your spells work and how your manifestation process goes. And it's quite deep. And then I have the Awaken Your Inner Goddess, which just started last week, which is super lovely, about self-confidence, self-love, self-care, how to become like a really, self-confident practitioner and find your flavor of witchcraft. And in January, we'll start with Lunar Living, which is all about living with the moon. But I wanted to launch 2 workshops, mainly because the people that book the other workshops keep booking the workshops. I'll run out of them. So I have a question, which one you would like more? Because I had 2 ideas that I absolutely prefer. And let me preference that with everyone is welcome in my workshops, right? You don't have to be female, because I got a lot of messages of guys being like very much concerned that it wouldn't fit in. On that note, a shout out to Brian from In Your Element. I will try your incense because, oh my god, I love the video. Doesn't matter. But yes, guys, you're all welcome. However, since I have 80% of a female viewership here, I figured maybe I want to do like a workshop that's only for ladies. I would like to call it like Wild Women. And I want to make it about like the life cycle of women, or the topics that we usually like go through, like through our lives, like bodily changes, obviously, with like also a little bit sensuality, sexuality, menopause, like the maid, mother, crown type of aspect, without meaning that you actually have to ever have been a mother. More like the archetype behind it. So that would be one idea. Or the other idea that I now cannot remember. Hold on, I think I have somewhere, I have it written down. Oh yeah, the other one I want to call Magick on Your Mind. And I want to make it all about like learning how to incorporate like your witchcraft practice to aid your mental health and to achieve greater life happiness. So I would be super interested to know what sounds more interesting to you, just to kind of like see where I'm going with this. Sergio, male witcher, great. Hello. Oh, not Queen, obviously, you know, Brian. Yes, wonderful. Okay, cool. What we are doing next is we are going to caramelize those wonderful pears. And you can do them in honey. But since I have an under 1-year-old in the house that cannot eat honey, I'm going to caramelize mine in brown sugar instead. But you can also use whatever really, like, how's that called? I want to say acorn syrup, but that's not correct. The Canadian stuff. Maple syrup. My god. There we go. All right. Perfect. To caramelize things, we just need a pan, right? And if you are cooking with meat, you will now add your meat in this. But since, you know, I don't want to gross out any veggies or vegans watching, I shall do this without meat. So I'm gonna add a little swig of oil or butter or whatever, you know, just something. And we're gonna heat up our pan. Cool. Put it to the highest setting. All right, and then we're gonna wait. Oh, one happy witch! I haven't seen you in a million years. Hello to Wales. Oh, want to chat with you again. Loving the whole women empowerment thing. Mental health is always a topic. Yay! Both sound amazing. I am so excited that you like it. I'm sorry for the chat being so slow, but that's when I get the things in. The Wild Woman workshop. Okay. Both workshops. Okay, I might have to just do both workshops because I like them both and I have like so many ideas. So we shall see. Using maple syrup as well. Perfect. The Canadian stuff. Yes, that's what I'll call it. What oil I'm using, I always get that when we are in Spain. Spanish olive oil. I absolutely love it. Like also this, you get this in Spain for the price of what you pay in Germany for like a bottle that's like that tiny, at least for a good quality. So I use olive oil with everything, with my baking, with my cooking. I don't use any other oil unless I want it for a salad dressing. And sometimes I use like pumpkin, how's it called? Pumpkin seed oil or something like that. All right. So, my oil is hot. I'm gonna put it down a little bit so things don't burn. What I'm going to do now is technically you can put the sugar in first, but I'm gonna put the pear in first because I'm a rebel. There we go. Gonna fry that a little bit. And what we are also going to do is to add, if you want, a little dash of cinnamon just to give it a bit more of the autumnal flavor. Spanish oil power. Indeed. Yeah, that bottle of oil always lasts us roughly until we go to Spain again, which is every 3 months or so to visit the in-law. Bex, is there a book you've read or heard or recently that you think would benefit other witches? Thousand, because I'm now part of the Grimoire Girls chat, which the ladies of my retreat started, and there are a lot of like good books in there. I haven't really had time to read any of them yet, but some that I found really interesting were, oh my god, I wish I had my phone now because then I could look it up. One is called like Witchcraft Therapy, I believe. Then there is Of Blood and Bones, and that's the only two I can remember right now. Um, just so you know. All right, perfect. So my pears are cooking. Gonna put them a little bit higher now, and then you just gonna add a little bit of sugar, right? Oh, I added too much. It's already in, so just gonna roll with it. You want to stir a little bit so it doesn't, burn. I had a dog named Cinnamon. She would adopt animals of other species and could produce milk, so she saved several litters of kittens that way. Oh, how lovely. Oh. The dog of my mother-in-law was also, well, in Spanish, Canela, and her daughter was Nela. Unfortunately, she passed away a couple of months ago. I love how you cook and talk at the same time. Yes, multitasking, baby. Right. It's just a little bit hard when I try to speak to the microphone because I feel like if I turn too much towards the stove, you can't hear me. Oh, I loved Witchcraft Therapy, says Brittany. Wonderful. Yeah, that is definitely like one of the recommend books. All right. Can I use one or more apples instead of pears? Absolutely. Apple would also go great with this. Like, just use what you have. Also, you should cut your onions. I pre-cut them because I didn't want to cry on camera. If you know what I mean. So we're just gonna put it on. If you like your onion a little bit more crunchy, you can absolutely throw it in with or after the pear and caramelize it too, if that makes you happy. Brings you joy. Gosh, these are spicy. I really hope my eyes can withhold, but we shall see. All right. The audio is good though, even if you turn away. That is awesome. I'm very happy to hear that. I'm just gonna add a generous dash of cinnamon. Oh, can never have too much cinnamon. Also very much favored in spells around love, but also spells around abundance, like abundance magic. Mainly because back in the days it used to be a very expensive but very favored spice. So only the elite could afford it. So that kind of, what the rich have must be good for more riches. I think that's why it has that connotation. Good. Let that caramelize a little bit longer. Can this be made without onions? I don't like the flavor. Yeah, absolutely. Just leave them out. Like, that's, more for the colors, because if you use red onions, you add a little layer, but absolutely add in or leave out whatever you like. It will still taste wonderful. Any thoughts on this trend of onion water? What is onion water? I've legitimately never heard of that. Is that like a witchcraft thing or a diet thing? No idea. If I put onion in cold water, it will be better. That is true. That is true, but as I'm already not prepared, I didn't do that either. But let me quickly get the gorgonzola cheese. All right, there we go. Which is our next ingredient. Oh, shit. Sorry, shouldn't swear on camera. Usually I can edit that out or bleep that out, but I keep forgetting that this is not possible with this video. So now, oh my god, this tastes... Oh, tastes so good. Oh, if you could smell that, if you're making it, you're smelling it, but if you're not, I'm very sorry for you. You're missing out. Saying it right now. Oh, this tastes like autumn and Christmas and everything combined. Oh, so cozy. Tastes a little, it smells a little bit like stuffed apple, which I also have to do. Oh gosh, yes, yes. I have a really nice recipe. I think I'm gonna share that in my upcoming video, which will be all about witchy self-care in the colder month. Because I think we all can use that when the you know the darkness creeps in and very stressful December holiday season starts. All right. Yes, brie, the bacon grease. Usually it's made with bacon. I'm just making it right now without, for the people that don't want to see a dead animal handled. Gonna keep this wholesome for those that don't eat it. But absolutely, I agree with your statement here. All right, gorgonzola cheese. Aggressively chop it. Oops. Oh my god. I just realized that I haven't eaten gorgonzola probably in a year and a half because I was pregnant and you were not supposed to eat it, but yes. My gosh. All right. This is definitely the time of year of being cozy in the kitchen and making comforting goodies. Absolutely. This is my favorite pastime. I have like so many candles lit in my house. Gonna put out the twinkle lights. Just gonna make it super, super nice, super cozy, and yeah, it's nothing better than to like have your oven light like on in like a almost dark house only with candles, and then it smells like deliciously of like spices or fresh bread or stew or oh, so good. All right, let's see. What are you all? Do you have any ideas for kitchen witchery for a witch stuck in a broom closet that prefers baking than cooking? Yeah, I mean, kitchen witchery is your friend here because it's super broom closet friendly. Cooking in itself is kind of magic. You can, I don't know if you saw my last video that I put out on kitchen witchery. There are some tips in there. I also did one video titled Kitchen Witch Hacks, where I have a ton of like how to work kitchen witchery without anyone noticing. But it's all about an intention and the stirring and the putting the intention in how you chop, how you cook. So no one has to know that it's like witchery behind it. And the ingredients you pick, it's very simple. Using what you have is extraordinarily witchy. I have some troubles with that word there. Remember, that's where most traditions came from, which is using what they had back in the days before grocery stores and markets, or because they were poor. Right, absolutely that. Like all the folk traditions are based on like just using what you have, regular household items, things you can find in nature. It's not like going to a fancy place and buying crystals or candles, or even though if that brings you happiness, please don't stop on my account. You should do what works for you. I feel that's like nothing to fight about. Everyone just has to do what works for them. Sorry for this, but the habit sneaks in. Never lick knives, children. I do a lot of tea magic. It can be very subtle. That is true. Especially in the winter, I like to make a lot of drinks, warming drinks, hot chocolate, for example, with different spices in for like self-love or a chai. Yesterday, for my Inner Goddess workshop prompt, I shared my spiced rose latte recipe with a little ritual idea. So yes, All right, cool. So what do we have on this now? We have pumpkin, gorgonzola, red onion, caramelized pear. If you want bacon, what am I missing? Oh yeah, you can sprinkle some seeds over it. Depending which ones you use, you can do that a little bit into the baking process so they don't get too dark. But since I cannot bake this in my own oven, I sprinkling already now. I'm using sunflower seeds, but obviously pumpkin seeds would go amazing on this. What you can also do after this is baked is to put on a little bit of roquette salad, which makes this very nice, or just eat it on the side. Also delicious. And yeah, all you have to do now is to pop it in the oven. I'd say it takes about 20 minutes. Put the temperature reasonably high, 200 to 220 degrees Celsius. So that is, I think, 380 to 420 degrees Fahrenheit, but just Google it. Like just a little bit like hotter than you would bake a cake. If that, tells you something. I'm never that like precise with my oven temperatures, unless I'm making something like a souffle or something where you really have to look into the physics and chemistry of the entire thing. Could you share 1 or 2 latte recipes? The chai rose sounds lovely. That is part of my Inner Goddess workshop, if that's interesting to you. But I shared a London smog, which is kind of like, it's a tea with milk. You can make it into a latte. Last year, I'm trying to think in which... it was in the Simple Spells video. It's called Simple Spells and it's all about kitchen witchery. I shared it exactly a year ago. It was like in November as well. And there's another latte, the pumpkin spice, that I shared in maybe my Mabon video. I don't remember. Around that time, a couple of weeks ago, I shared it, but I cannot remember in which video I put it. All right. Turned your channel onto a girlfriend battling cancer. I'm so sorry. Naturally, she told me you are part of her meditative routine and her mind of nature's healing power. Oh my God, I feel... Aw, that is very sweet. That is so sweet. Say hi to her, and I really, really hope that she is on her way to recovery. Can you put nutmeg? Oh, hi, Laura! How are you? Laura is the chocolate queen. If you're in Canada, you should check out her Instagram. Oh my God, please type your Instagram because I cannot remember it right now, how you called there. She once sent me this most delicious chocolate pralines. And yes, you can put nutmeg. You can already put it in the cream, like nutmeg and smoked paprika, or you can just sprinkle it over there. It's like absolutely delicious. Sorry, I was just trying to. Oh, something happened to my frame apparently. What do I have to do? Sorry, having technical difficulties and I like don't understand anything. I remember making a chocolate sauerkraut cake. Gonna do that again. Yes, I shared that for New Year's because we eat sauerkraut traditionally for New Year's because it's like linked to like abundance because of all the tiny little pieces. Yeah, that is a wonderful one. London fog, yeah, Earl Grey tea with milk, and I put in lavender too. Helpful natural acid. So good, and with vanilla even better. Lady Thyme, bake at 425 Fahrenheit. Thank you so much for the conversion. That is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Raven Jensen, yes, the sauerkraut cake. Look up my, I think it's called A Magical Start into 2022. Can you believe that it's almost 2023 now? Like, I feel like this year has passed so quickly. I mean, we all know what happened. Like in these past years were kind of like messed up, but like it just like feels like time is flying by. It's insane. having a very bitchy lunch with cereal. Nothing against a good cereal. I love that too. I haven't had that in a really, really long time. Oh, I kind of want to make my own now, like a nice granola with like some honey baked oats and oh, delicious, delicious. All right. Good morning from Vermont. Okay, now a couple of more people waking up. Well, you can all watch that back because we already finished our dish basically. All right. I put multiple sigils on my food using sauces and forks, draw them on and stir them in. Hope this helps if someone needs a subtle or hidden practice. Absolutely, because that is just something, that you can do whenever. And if someone asks you, what are you doing? You're just like, I don't know, just getting creative with my food, right? I mix black tea or grey with chamomile and lavender. I have ADHD, so caffeine calms me down. Oh, nice. I don't. I don't have that. I cannot even drink regular caffeinated coffee because my heart goes like a million miles an hour. I can only drink decaf, but I love coffee. I love me some coffee. Would love a muesli recipe. You know what? I'm just gonna write that down because I'm gonna forget. Never mind. I'm gonna watch that back because then I can also reply to some more comments maybe in the comment section underneath the video at a later point. I will definitely include that. Maybe I will film a little winter morning routine for you because I feel lately I've been doing so many projects, so I'm so stressed out. And I kind of like have to reclaim my mornings because right now I'm working so late in the night that like my mornings I cannot get up like at the time I'm used to. But I want to change that again because I really miss it and I really miss the magic of the morning where everyone is asleep, especially in winter, and you open the window and like the cold comes in and then you light a candle and sit with your coffee and oh God. Julie asks, where do I find out about the retreat? On my website. I'm pretty sure I linked it in the description box. If not, it is the witches path.com. So there are three retreats coming up. One is the Ostara retreat, the Vernal Witch festivities, which is a shorter 4-day retreat, which also makes it cheaper. Where it's all about like fertility, new project, manifestation. So if that is something that interests you, that will be the retreat for you. Then I have a Beltane retreat that starts end of April and goes to the 1st of May. So it's called the Wicked Walpurgisnacht because that's how we basically celebrate or call Beltane in Germany. And it's all about celebrating life and celebrating friendship and celebrating, put my thing into the cream, doesn't matter. Making flower crowns and running through fields. And then we have again the Samhain retreat, lifting the veil. Sorry for my German accent. Which is just before Samhain because I have to celebrate Halloween with my kids. Which is all about shadow work, letting go, parting, new phases of life. But you can find everything there if it interests you. And yes, come all to the retreats. I promise it's amazing. Great question. Bex, your favorite Sabbath? My absolute favorite is Mabon, just because of all the food. Big surprise. I just love the colors. I love the time of the year because here it's still fairly warm. Like it's almost like not quite summer warm, but it is warm during the day. But you already have like the fall colors. So, and sunflowers, which is my favorite flower. I also really love Yule, especially since having kids. I love to decorate. I love to make the house cozy. I really enjoy it. And I do love Imbolc because of our traditional food. It's all about the fatty foods. Again, Kitchen Witch! And I also like the cleansing aspect of it, like letting go of winter, letting go of the old, and like bringing in the new. And like that's also the time where I usually do like a big cleaning of my house, a cleansing of my house, of my life, and take stock of that. So that I really enjoy. I need some inspiration for winter mornings with our 4 little ones. You are a busy lady, I suppose, Savannah. So far, my best idea is porridge for breakfast at least once a week because it's warm and filling. Yeah, I can also suggest, for example, oat bakes, which is super easy because you can just prepare them in the evening, right? You just pop them in like a cake pan in the fridge, and then you bake them in the morning. Like you can just bake porridge the regular way, and then you put some blueberries in, you slice some bananas over it, put some pecans on them. Actually, another channel recommendation, Becoming a Farm Girl. She just uploaded a video where she did that. It looked absolutely yummy. Also banana bread. I feel like healthy banana bread without sugar and that it's a bit more filling and sustainable is a really great one. I made one in my morning routine video actually, because that's something that is one of my go-tos. So just as an idea. Oh yeah, eggs. Yes, yes, yes. I like Imbil too. I feel very creative at this holiday. Me too. Isn't it like fascinating to see? Like I don't know if you all share that, but like for me, when like certain holidays roll around or certain times of the year roll around, I get like a certain feeling or a certain urge to do something. Like it feels very natural, like kind of like it's like ingrained in your brain. Um, that you have that. Like for me, for Samhain, I do get very introspective. For example, for Imbolc, I do get like a big boost of energy. I guess it also has to do, of course, with the weather and with the sunlight that you get with like the change in the season. Um, but I just love that. Like just when the seasonal feeling hits you, like it's wonderful. All right, all right. I love Imbolc as a half craft practitioner. Yes, absolutely. Overnight French toast. Never made that. Have to try that. Wonderful. Yeah, Imbolc is a very powerful Sabbath. Let me know, what are your favorite Sabbaths and why? Also, are there people here? I know that also I have a couple of people that prescribe more to the pagan paths, which obviously don't follow necessarily those Sabbaths, but might follow different ones, especially if you look into the Norse type of beliefs, and especially the Germanic ones with all the blots. Is there anyone here that is observing that? Laura, you sent me more chocolate. Yes, that is amazing. I'm so excited. Yeah, snail mail is horrible, especially to my village. It takes like a million years. Thank you so much. I'm super excited. I am super excited. I love your Herman accent. That's what drew me to you. Grandparents were German. What is a Herman accent? Ah, you mean probably German. I thought you. That was a funny way to say it with a. All right, okay. No, I get it. I get it. Beltane, Mabon, Samhain, and Ostara. Yeah, Ostara is also a nice one. Ostara for me is always where I get like the first herbs are coming out, and I really like to gather them, and I get like in this like health funk, which I could use right now, but no, give me all the food. I love Mab and Samhain just because of the seasonal time of year. In New York, the leaves are bursting with color. Autumn is just my favorite. Yeah. Here, the leaves are already pretty much down now at this point. Like the trees are already bare. And once they're bare, I am ready for snow, even though I fear that climate change is making this really, really hard. But we shall see. From working on the farm for so long, tend to follow the growing season for gardening and cooking. Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. That's also like a wonderful thing to do. I love Yule and Beltane. That just seem like such opposite energies. Yeah, I feel like for me, they're both like very much like focused around love in a way, but in a different way. Like Yule for me feels um, very cozy and more retreat type of love and that stuff. And Beltane is more the outgoing energy. I have banana bread and a full of love and coziness. Huh? Lovely. Yule. Is the Yule cat lore popular there? Shannon asked, what cat lore? You mean with Freya or with the drawn chariot? You would have to tell me more what you mean. It would be interesting to hear. Bree, do you practice any divination in the kitchen? I do. Not very often because I absolutely like divination in the classical sense of like looking in the future. It's not something I do or I believe in. I use like oracle cards, tarot cards, magpie oracles, the pendulums, all that jazz for like more introspective type of like workings, or if I want to like especially the pendulum I use for sitting with my intuition. If I'm not quite sure what decision I should make, I ask the pendulum and then trust my brain waves to move the pendulum in a way that my intuition speaks to me, if that makes sense. In the kitchen, like I do the traditional ones for the holidays. For example, for New Year's here we have the wax pour. So actually, I'm sorry, I do a lot of divination in the kitchen. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So we have like a bowl with water, and then everyone drops. It used to be lead, but poison and stuff. So now we do it with wax in it, and then you kind of look at the figure that forms because when the wax cools down very quickly, it forms into a shape. I also do, for example, my partner is from Spain, so we do the roscon for the Three Wise Kings, 6th of January, where you eat the roscon de Reyes, like a round cake with like sugared fruit on it, and it has like different things baked into it. Like it has like the baby cheeses or the kings. And like these are all supposed to be like good luck. And then if you get a bean, you are the one that has to pay for the round. Um, there are multiple like things like that, especially in the Spanish cuisine, like with the pimientos de padrón, the green peppers, who gets like the spicy, like you put one spicy one in and who gets that kind of like you oracle what that might mean for them in the new year. Then of course tea leaf divination, which I don't do that much because like the only times I really drink tea is either when I'm sick or in months of like November and also February. These are my tea months. I don't know. It's just a month where I get like a craving for tea. So if I have a loose leaf tea, I would sometimes do that because it's a very fun little activity. I think they mean the Yule cat from Icelandic lore. I have no idea about that, but if anyone wants to enlighten us, that would be wonderful. Do you make your own candles? Yes, I do make my own candles. Because I try to avoid toxins one, even though this one is like a very cheap store-bought thing that probably gives me all sorts of ailments sitting just next to it. But yeah, I do it usually with like soy, as natural as possible. Like just like candles in a thing. I don't do like the beeswax dripping candles. I've never tried that. I would like to learn it, but have not made it. November and February are my tea months too. Isn't it funny how things are sometimes like apply to different people? Oh, Alvin Erk, hello! For everyone who doesn't know her, you have to go to her channel because she is amazing. She makes this like fairy cottage core witchy type of videos, and she always goes in a forest with the wonderful map. She made a map of the different places, and she does a lot of DIYs, a little bit of kitchen witchery, and like 100,000,000,000% recommend that channel. So hi, nice that you're checking in, and thank you. Do you need a caster circle of protection for kitchen magic? On the topic of casting circles, I do not cast circles. And here's why. So casting circles is very common in Wiccan practice. It's also very common in ceremonial magic. I don't practice either of them because I am not Wiccan, nor am I very ceremonial with my magic. I'm very much intuitive with my magic. The casting the circle idea comes from there. It comes actually from the Renaissance area. I have hair on my tarte. It was mentioned already, like in the books, the grimoires that were found from that time of like the academics that dabbled a little bit in the occult, and it's supposed to kind of like, depending on what mindset you're coming from, it's sort of a protection. So in Wicca, you call in the quarters, right, as the guardians or the energies of the different cardinal directions, and you do that in a circular motion, so to say. And it is either to call in the elements or to call in basically the protection for yourself. How I, as a secular, skeptical practitioner, see casting a circle. If I would do it, it would not be for protection, because I don't feel like I need to be protected from anything. I don't believe in any spirits or entities or something like that. So for me, it's more to create a space, like a mindset, like it is more for me to actively do something to put me in the mindset of now it's like a spiritual time. Now I'm not thinking of like the kids or like my to-do list or anything else. So then I might cast a circle, and I might just do so by doing this. Butter knife magic, right? Pretty easy, just like a tool to help me to focus my mind on the here and now, and not on like all the mundane things that are going on. So now you don't have to cast a circle before kitchen magic unless you want to. It comes down to that there are no rules. You do what you want and what works for you, and that's fine. At least that's what I would say. And so far in my 20-something years of practicing, it went well. But yeah, also read the chat, because there are for sure a lot of other people in here that have like a different experience with their craft or what worked for them. Just always like keep in mind that everyone has an opinion on this, and everyone has a different experience, and nothing is right, nothing is wrong. Everything is just personal. 'Tis what it is. You covered my earlier questions about Spain. Well, I'm happy to hear. I missed that earlier question. I'm sorry. I don't cast circles, but at times I do imagine a white light of protection. I do that a lot. Like just sometimes when I feel like anxious or something like that, or if I worry about something, I will, even if I worry about my kids or my family members, I will imagine like a white circle of light around them. That's just kind of, not that I think that it will actually protect them from anything mundane, but it helps me calm down. And that's how I think my magic works for me. Like I work magic on my mind, if that makes sense. Yeah, I just got to be using my head sometimes. Perfect. To misquote Terry Pratchett, a butter knife is as good as any other magical knife, but has the advantage that you can also spread butter with it. Yes! Also, yay, Terry Pratchett. If you haven't read it, you have to read it. I will never get tired of saying that, because he was just such a clever, clever man with such a witty sort of humor and very pointed observations about the world and also the magical community. So if you want to feel slightly assaulted and called out, recommend the Discworld series. Question bags. Do you work with deities? I don't, because I am atheist, agnostic. I don't believe in any deities. I also don't use them as an archetype. I know like some atheist practitioners use them as archetype figures, like to represent something. I don't, because as I said, like my witchcraft is more directed inwards rather than outwards, if that makes sense. So nope. My little balcony garden endeavor this year, I themed and I named the Bellis Fair. Ah, lovely, lovely, lovely. This world is amazing. Yes, Aaron, preach. Sir Terry Pratchett was a gem amongst the humans. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. I dressed as a mushroom for Halloween and wore a sign with Terry Pratchett quote about fungi. I love it. Oh, God. Oh, wonderful. Oh, that gives me so many ideas. I should do like a Terry Pratchett theme costume next year. I was Little Witch Hazel. By the way, a great book if you have little crotch goblins. It's by Phoebe Wahl. I probably pronounced her name wrong. It's a German pronunciation. Phoebe Wahl. It's called Little Witch Hazel. It has like the most cute illustrations, and it's about the forest season and the little witch that lives in the forest, and she like helps the other forest creatures, the gnomes and the dryads and the animals. She's a little healer, but also a friend, and she does a thing, and it's really cute. You make me feel more confident in my choice to be an agnostic witch. Yes! I'm so glad to hear that. There's a couple of like witchcraft channels that I recommend for atheist witchcraft. Oh my god, why can I not say that word? Witchcraft channels. I recommend Sedna Wu. And I also recommend the Skeptical Witch. It's also another good one. And then, of course, the subreddit Sasswitch, SASS Witch, secular, agnostic, scientific something witch. It's great. You find a lot more like inspiration and resources there. I should be Granny Weatherwax one year. I love Granny Weatherwax. Even though if I would have to say what Pratchett character, and I don't want to turn this into a Terry Pratchett fan club here. Just it will be my last comment on the magnificent Terry Pratchett. I would see myself as a mixture between Nanny Ogg and Tiffany Aching. I like to think this natural magic, trusting your learnings. Yes, absolutely. I'm fairly new here. Your channel is my favorite. Oh, I'm learning a lot. I am so happy to hear that. Great. If you ever have any topics that you want me to cover, absolutely feel free to also write to me. Always open for new video suggestions that I haven't thought of that people might like. I would love to make my own YouTube video some days, but don't have the confidence and have a very loud crotch goblin. Yes. I mean, you can film when they're in bed, I guess, like at night. That's also when I get a lot of the filming done. Also, the reason why I do a lot of like voiceover B-roll content, because it's always loud in this house. But yes, work on your confidence and get on YouTube. It's just a fun creative outlet, you know? It won't make you money, I'm telling you that much, but it's lovely. All right. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Let me quickly get this on a baking tray because I will have to deliver it to the oven very soon. By the way, has anyone baked along? And then yours is probably already ready. How's it looking? How's it smelling? Let me know. Oh, should have done that before. It would have been so much easier. But why do the easy way if you can just do it really complicated too? All right, there we go. This fell off, so it means I can eat it. All right. I'm looking for good forest witch novels. Any recommendations? I don't know any novels, but you could ask Alvin Oak, and you could also ask, she changed her channel name again. She used to be Little Woodland Witch. I think she's now called the Little Forest Witch or something like that. I cannot, Forest Apothecary. Oh, I cannot remember, but these would be two people that might have some recommendations for you. Oh, hello. As someone with a secular orientation who draws from nature, I appreciate your perspective. Also, hello. Nice to hear from you. That is lovely to hear. The Wild Forest Witch. Yeah, I think that's what she's called. Heather Lynn. So yeah, she also makes some really cute videos. She does a lot of crafting too, a lot of kitchen witchery, very colorful everything. So that is something that you all might enjoy too. All right, lovelies, hit me if you have any more questions. I'm here to answer. And if not, I will soon go because I actually do have another In Your Element class this evening. We're going to dive into the element of water and our emotions, and I'm just super excited. So yeah, I cannot hang around too much more longer, but yeah, I just gonna wait if there are any questions popping up, and in the meantime, I will absolutely lick this entire bowl because it keeps staring at me, and I don't want to be rude, right? My pumpkin slices are still a little hard, but getting there. That is amazing. Yeah, you really have to slice them thin. You could also like steam them a little bit beforehand, but usually I don't really need to. Jessica Faith, I love all your kitchen witchery. Should making cook spellbook for each Sabbath. It's coming. It's coming. Aussie Kitten, going to head off. It was lovely having you here. Thanks so much. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Then I will sign off. I say thank you to all of you for being here with me. This was fun. Should hang out here more often. Maybe we can actually bake some cookies for you. Let me know if you want that. Or maybe we can also do a little crafting project. I will see. I will see. Anyways, I wish you all a good rest of the day. I wish you all a good evening if you're also in Europe. And I just hope that you have a really cozy November. And yeah, my new video will likely be out on Friday or Saturday next week with a magical self-care for the colder month. And yes, goodbye. Bye. If I manage to switch this off, because who knows? I might put the finished tarte flambee over on my Instagram as a picture so you can see it, or maybe in the stories. All right, goodbye. Wait, I don't know how to do this. Oh, end stream. There we go. Okay, bye.